Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing on this Sunday morning? I still haven't gotten the sleepies out of my eyes. The little has discovered a newfound love for Nutella, which might be to my detriment. And the dude is at work this morning, so we're going to just have a little Sunday morning chat and chill and hope everybody has their coffee and or energy drinks or whatever your fancy is. Mr. Squid went to work this morning, left the house at 3:30, and his coffee is still sitting on the counter. Yeah. We're gonna get into that. Did my brackets blow up? I don't really know the answer to that offhand. I'm not the kind of person who sits in front of the TV with my brackets like, oh my God. I just check in every other day or so, and my arm is so tender right now. So yeah, the little wanted to FaceTime him this morning, so he FaceTimed her, and I asked him, I was like, he goes, did you notice my coffee was still on the counter? I was like, I did notice that. I was like, did you stop and get yourself a Red Bull or something? And he goes, nope. So he's dealing with people uncaffeinated this morning. So everybody throw up some prayers for Mr. Squid's coworkers who have to put up with his personality uncaffeinated. Because his job is, he tells people, his whole job is telling people that they did a good job or they didn't do a good job. Yes, your work passed or your work failed. And sometimes you can approach that as a very gentle, hey, you messed up. Try looking at this page of your book or the manual and trying it again. And sometimes it's you effed up and I have to write up a report, and this report will go straight to the CEO of the company. And depending on how he's feeling that particular day, shit could hit the fan. So everybody throw up a couple Sunday morning. Yeah, it is a Sunday morning prayer meeting for his coworkers or the mechanics that works under. Yeah, that is deadly. His drive to work is about an hour. He can he'll survive. Good morning, Connor. How are you doing? He'll survive. It's just everybody else that we're a little worried about. Would have been fine if he took the Boilermakers. I have to look at, yeah. This freaking BYU just screws it up every time. But I'm not actually sure who I took. All right, so we're gonna look at these. I'm gonna share my screen. And we're going to we're just gonna see what just happened here. And I'm gonna compare my two brackets. So I have to, okay. This is the better one. So that was the bracket itself. This was one of my brackets. So y'all can actually see this was Squid's Last Resort 1. This was my bracket based on who I actually thought would win. We'll see how it goes out. So obviously we talked about this one last time. I got both of these right. I did not get Texas A&M. I missed that. I said I wanted to be Texas A&M and Auburn, so I missed that. This is my. Okay, I have to do this differently. It's not allowing me to look at the two different ones that I submitted. So we're gonna take this one first. This is the proposed skill-based one where I actually thought about it. Good morning, Dad. How are you this morning? Oh, I am running on very little sleep and no caffeine. Oh, 98.1 for comparison. My norm is 96. Not feverish by medical standards. Hope you feel better. I'm having I don't know, like I can't wake up this morning. So I figured what better to wake up and put some energy in my day than hanging out with y'all. My mom is over here, so that is where the little is, following my mother around. All right, we're gonna get into this, how bad I screwed up these brackets. I don't put money on this by any means. This is completely just for me having fun and making fun of my my love of basketball, but my poor ability to analyze and guess. For those of you who weren't here on Friday, whenever I did it, I made 2 brackets. I made one based on the analysis and who I thought would actually win, or I wanted to win in some cases, like, Marquette and Marquette in Wisconsin, but that's a story for another day. And then I made one the girliest way possible. I made one based on the color of the uniform that I like better and the state that I liked better. Thank you. Girlhood has no awareness of that mommy's in pain, which I'm happy about, but at the same time, she grabbed my arm, and it's like my arm is sensitive to the touch right now, and it's not going away. To the point where I've had the hubs, and I have looked for lesions of like shingles. It's things I blame getting up too early, but I still feel crummy. I hope you feel better. Feeling crummy is never good. And maybe it's just because I don't know, like my sleep has been weird lately. I've been going to sleep early and waking up at like 2:00 in the morning, falling asleep at like 4, and then my sleep is all, but I slept with the little last night, and she's like a personal space heater, so I woke up sweating like 3 or 4 times. I literally thought I had a fever, and it's like, no, I just no, I think this stuff is, I think it's some nerve issues, because it's only where my ulnar nerve runs. So it started in my elbow, and it made its way down to above my wrist, and now it's in really bad on my wrist and on the back of these 2 fingers, and then the front of this one. But it's the worst right here. So it's I'm not on any medications for pain. I've been doing it all with like my TENS unit and stuff like that, and I think I need to go back to because it's starting on this side too. So it's not just my right arm, it's starting up here too. So before both my arms are in pain and I can't function, I'm actually going to cave and make an appointment with my nurse practitioner and see if I can get some some relief. You heard the Celtics were sold? I didn't hear that, but I also didn't really look. I've been kind of paying attention to this. All right. We're going to get into this. We're going to start with the skill-based one, which I'm pretty sure, yeah. Let's see. The Louisville and Creighton, I messed up. We knew that. I got Michigan and Texas A&M both winning. I did call Ole Miss beating North Carolina, and that was a really good game. North Carolina, it was a microcosm of their entire season in the first quarter or the first half. Yeah, I've been debating whether to ask for that or not. Yeah, I have been Yeah. Oh, I would need Botox here to get rid of the what I call the bitch line. It's when I look at someone and my WTF line. When I look at someone like WTF, this line in the middle of my forehead and between my eyes gets really deep. I want that gone. Alrighty. I don't know if Botox would work, but gabapentin might work. But I want to make sure it's just nerve pain and not like, shingles or something. So, yeah, almost. See, and that's what I hate about both Marquette and Wisconsin. The two teams I actually root for in any tournament, because obviously Marquette, I had to pass Marquette on my way to college every day. So, hey, Island, how are you this morning? And Faith says it all. Good morning. No, don't do that. Leave the line. Don't start with cosmetic stuff. I heard it's addictive. Made too many things that could go wrong. Yeah, but I'm also hoping that could help my headaches too. They were going to do it for my headaches, and then I had surgery. So yeah, but here's my problem with Marquette and Wisconsin is they are both they're both good, but never great. They're good enough to get by, and they're good enough to always get in, but they're never good enough to actually go anywhere. Round one, round two, they always get through round one. Sometimes they get through round two, but the Sweet 16 is like their cap, no matter what. Yeah, but when you get Botox for migraines, they do tend to put it in places where wrinkles get you every time too. So it kind of does a twofer. Yeah, they never recruit big name players. Well, yeah. And I'm sorry if my lighting gets screwy. Somebody is over there on the chair playing with the curtains. She's not a puller on the curtains, so don't worry about that ever happening. She is a open, close, and put them over her head. Like, she will turn around and hide. You can see her whole body, but you can't see her face, and she will think she's invisible. Wrinkles are proof you lived. Why do people want to get rid of? They had fun, smiled. And that's the thing. I don't care about here or here. It's the deep one right in the middle of my forehead that sticks around after. Yeah. Probably because they only get the good players for a year before they have to get their GoPro. Dad says hi. Mom.
What?
Dad says hi.
I know I'm texting him.
All right. So my lighting is funky this morning because somebody decides that, there we go, to have a little fun. All right, back to this fun stuff. I did get Ole Miss. Ole Miss and Iowa State. I have Iowa State winning because I just don't trust Ole Miss. Marquette is the short bus of basketball. No, that's UWM. And especially all the Wisconsin teams. I think I was in high school. I think it was 2004, the last time that UWM, Marquette, and Wisconsin all made it into the tournament at the same time. But the weird thing is when Wisconsin teams make it, they never get to play in Milwaukee, ever. Or I could be wrong, but all the times I've paid attention to it, they've never. You should learn to control that furrow. Use it to let the little one know you're serious. Well, there's that. So I screwed up Marquette and New Mexico. New Mexico won. Because, I had to go for Marquette because there are certain things that there are certain times when my heart gets over skill. But Marquette, I wanted them to win, and also them being ranked over New Mexico and looking at their strength of schedule, it sort of worked out until the game actually got played, which is the fun part about basketball, though, is anything could happen at any time. I did get Michigan State, obviously, for Bryant. I have Michigan State beating. I had them beating Marquette. So here's my thing with Marquette. I did get the Marquette New Mexico game wrong, but I did have Michigan State beating Marquette. So my bracket is not completely blown up, just partially. All right, moving over to the East. Duke and Baylor, I got both of those right. I wanted to choose Mississippi State just based on the SEC, but I chose Baylor, and woohoo, I was right. So I got Duke and Baylor, and I have Duke beating Baylor in the next round. So they play today at 2:40 p.m. Oregon, I got. Arizona, I got. So I'm good. I had BYU and Wisconsin, but I also had Wisconsin winning. I had Wisconsin playing Duke and Duke winning in the Elite Eight. So Wisconsin, I royally screwed you up because I thought better of you than I should have. Yeah, this is always yeah. If ice fishing while drinking beer becomes a collegiate sport, Wisconsin is golden. I'm with my dad. Like, I like fishing, don't get me wrong, but sitting out on a frozen lake is not my idea of a fun time. It is for some people. I have family members that like to ice fish. Y'all do you. I prefer my fishing in a pond with gators. Sometimes, until the gator chases your bait, and then it's like, okay, gator 1, squid 0. I respectfully bow out when the gators chase my bait. And that's actually happened more than once. But the good thing is the gator stayed in the water. So we were, down here, there's a couple ponds where, with boat ramps. And on the boat ramp, it says, do not feed the wildlife, including gators. I'm like, forget the fishing. Oh, Dad, the owner of your favorite bar popped up on my people you may know list on Facebook. I was tempted to send him a friend request, but he'd be like, who the fuck is this? All right, let's see. Let's get back to this. This is what I can't. I did have St. Mary's beating Vanderbilt. Like, I did have St. Mary's beating Vanderbilt, even though I was really hoping that Vanderbilt could pull it out. You want me to move when you have gators? They're not prevalent. It's not like Florida where you go to a ditch. Like, anytime there's standing water, there could be a gator. That's not here. It's just select ponds. There are some wildlife. Like, morning, Gail. Morning, Karen's books. The good Karen. Yes. And Karen, we've replaced on this channel. We've replaced the name Karen as a, that kind of, person with Diane. So it's now Diane. Hey, Musi, how are you? Oh, Musi, message me. I have a question for you. I just have a question for you about something completely unrelated. Something to do with the little that we had talked about previously. But there's an object that I want to ask you about. Yeah, awesome. It's no longer Karen. It's no longer acting like a Karen. It's acting like a Diane. Because that lady And Slug actually made a really good point. He put this in my Discord the other day. It was like, people watch a YouTuber who's a mom, knows she's a stay-at-home mom, and then complain when said child interrupts stream. Like, you can't have it both ways. I'm like, okay, that's a really good point. I never even thought about it like that. People watch me knowing that I'm a mother and I'm a stay-at-home mother, and then get mad when my stay-at-home child interrupts the stream from time to time. I just thought it was hilarious. Diane, bad, good. And I do know, like, my work bestie at my old yeah. But I put the comment, because all the hater comments, they want their 15 minutes of fame. So here's the thing. I give them their 15 minutes of fame. I screenshot it and I put it on my Discord. So even though I haven't been great at being in the Discord and being active in the Discord and updating the case docs like I used to, I do put hater comments, whether they be in a live chat or on a replay or on a video. I screenshot them and I put them in the Discord for everybody to see. So if y'all want some entertainment, y'all can join my Discord. Yeah, my work bestie's name is Diane, though. So like when I was working, her name is Diane, and she's awesome. I still love her. I still talk to her. So not all Dianes, just like not all Karens. But on this channel, instead of calling people a Karen when they're being a sassy bitch or whiny, we're gonna call them Diane, because all the Karens that are ever on this channel are awesome, and obviously the Diane was not. So there's my PSA for the day. I told you this is like a chill stream. We'll talk about my brackets and make fun of my brackets and how they blow up, but we can make fun of anything. Like, it's just a Sunday morning. Like, hey, I have some time. My mom is here spending time with the little. I mean, she's doing some other things. She comes here to do some things, like her laundry and stuff. But like, she gets to spend some time with the little without me. And I'm like, you know what? The hubs is at work this morning on a Sunday. So we'll just have a little hangout time and make fun of my basketball analysis, for lack thereof. And I'm not doing too bad with this skill one. I'm interested to see how the girly one. So difficult to think people would complain when someone is trying to be a good, loving, stay-at-home mom. Go, oops, Diane, go away. And it was the thing about it. It's like I can understand people wanting a stream to be child-free. Like, I get it. You're trying to pay attention to something. I understand. But if you cannot accept the fact that a child will interrupt the stream from time to time, and I may have to cut streams off prior to when I want to, like, I still have stuff to talk about, but I have to go do mama stuff first. I don't, it is what it is, I just have to return a text real quick. All right. Dwayne, thank you for the $10 super chat. Baby squid is the best, but go blue. Which blue? Because there's lots. There's Kentucky. Tug's kids are, but Tug's kids are older too. I know Bug is still little, but she's also older than Baby Squid. So a little bit more self-sufficient, also has a sibling. So when he tells her, go back upstairs, he does it politely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to imply that. She's got something to do and she has another person to play with. When I tell her to go get a toy or go get something, it's just me generally who's here. So she's a little more reliant on me than Tug's kids right now. So I understand they come in all the time and they're cute, but they're a little bit more self-sufficient than mine. So she's almost 6 and has a sister. She's 2 and has no siblings. So she's so I get it. I get that. So it's a little more hit that like button. Yes. And I didn't even I set this stream up. I didn't even do anything. I'm not even in studio this morning. I just set this stream up and was like, off we go. Because that's how I roll. I used to set up my streams all the time, and then I figured out that I'm really, really bad at making those streams, because that's when life happens when I set up a stream in advance. So I try but Tug used to have Lug on telling stories that used to be that'd be fun to hear. Little Squiddy telling us stories. Oh, I'm sure one day you'll hear her. Whether it's intentional or not, I'm pretty sure you will hear her. So getting back to this March Madness fun. Here we go. Oh, that's how I do it. Okay, I got it. I got it to work. Here we go. I reloaded it and changed something and it worked. So you can see what I got right and got wrong. So I think this is my fun. Yeah, this is my fun stream. This was not my my other one. So this is not the one that I'm looking at now. This was my colors, my school colors kind of thing. This is not the one I'm looking at now. The one I'm looking at now is my skill one. I did choose Xavier, which I got wrong. Yeah, but I did choose Alabama. Got that right. I did choose St. Mary's right here. But I did choose Alabama to beat St. Mary's. So I have Alabama and BYU, and I said Alabama and Wisconsin. So we're not doing awful so far. The members live was fun that afternoon when Baby Squid stole the chair and would not give it back. Yeah, when I'm standing next to my own chair, I just, the laughter of a child is music unless it's 2 a.m. and you don't have a child in the home. Yeah, that would be she did this past Christmas. This past Christmas was all sports and out movement inspired. She got a balance beam from Nana. Grandpa Squid got the bed. So his wasn't movement, but his was still very important. So from Grandpa, she got her bed. The daddy and I got her a basketball hoop soccer goal thing. It was all movement inspired. She got a slide from her aunt and uncle. She got some outdoor stuff for later on this summer. It's all movement. So she has her new favorite thing is just picking up a ball and just throwing it at someone. Not telling them that you're going to throw it, but throwing it. So, it's yes, she did. She tried to steal my microphone. That's one of the reasons I had to cut that live stream short that day when we were talking about Justin Baldoni. we were trying to get through the whole thing, and she decided that she wanted to grab my microphone and try to throw it on the floor. We had to yeah, we had to call it a day then, because like we had some stuff to take care of. It's fun. It was funny. Baby Squid wants the limelight. It's her channel. I just work here. It's her. Somebody said it earlier. Steven said it. Baby Squid's too busy building her social media empire. Yeah. Like, and Dwayne, thank you for the 10 gifted Squid Pro Bowl memberships. We will go into the control room actually and see who got them. Denise Bax, Star Chris, Jack's mom, Pokey, aka Polyflop. Oh my God. I don't know who changed their name to Pokey, aka Polyflop, but that's hilarious and I love it. AKA the Cat Lady, Carrie Larkin, Donna Miano, Storybook Doll, Jean Mudge, and Scott B. Oh, sorry, Polyflop. That's the best. That's the best. I love it's Pokemon. So Pokemon just went Pokey, aka Polyflop. That's awesome. Poly. I love when people change their name. I haven't seen Laura Owens lately. So we should do a Laura Owens Clayton Eckerd stream. So all the good names from those streams will come out. Oh, I love a good dramatic name. Like somebody changed their name to Deuce Foreskin. I don't know who did that, but I saw that in a chat the other day and thought it was hilarious. Yeah, I bet it wasn't him either. But what's funny is he said he laughed at that name and said he liked it at first. So you can't all of a sudden go, I liked it, I'm gonna sue you over it. It was like, no, that's not the way that works. To the person who just messaged me, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just ignoring you. Like, hey, Carrie, how are you doing? That would be Dwayne. He is our membership winner right now. So we are sort of going through my brackets. We're more making fun of me and just shooting the shit this morning. Except there's nothing new in the Throat Babies case. Wondering what's taking the DA so long. I don't know. I have no idea. There's a bunch of cases that I'm following. Well, I kind of stopped following that. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm just not funny. Yeah, me neither. Like I can't. I have no like naming things. Idaho, the Idaho 4. There has been some stuff, but there's a few lawyers, Emily D. Baker and Andrea Burkhart. Andrea lives in Washington, so she's doing so much better analysis than I am and info on that because that's her local area and she's a lawyer. So, good morning. All right, so moving on to the west. I have obviously Florida and Yukon. I got. I have Florida moving on, which was good. Memphis, Colorado State beat Memphis. That's an upset. So I messed that up. Colorado State and Maryland. And Maryland won. So that, I had Maryland and Florida. And then I had Florida. So I got that right. I have Florida winning it all, something I never thought I'd say in any sport in my entire life. And then the bottom half of the bracket, I had Texas Tech, and then Drake, and I had Missouri beating Drake, and I also had Missouri beating Texas Tech. So this one's definitely wrong. And I had Texas Tech and St. John, or down here I had Kansas and St. John's, and it was Arkansas. But I had St. John's winning. And I had Florida and St. John's playing for the Final Four. So we're doing it up. You're late to the party, just waking up. Yeah, so who's derailing you then? Gross. See, and when people are offended by you saying stuff like that, you know what I do? I just ignore you and move on. Like, I just ignore you and move on. That's what I do. Stepan Trooper is here. We can call him Diane. Oh, yes. You have a new nickname. So I have, and I'm changing over to this one because it's less confusing over here. There we go. I have two different things up. I have the bracket where it's comparing the winnings against my bracket, and then it's comparing the nickname. Please explain. Diane, we're not using. So every Karen who's ever been in my stream has been like nice and sweet and not like the stereotype of the name Karen. But Diane the other day was the one that was angry about the fact that I didn't have a babysitter, even though I'm a stay-at-home mom. So we've decided to change out the name Karen as the stereotype for the not nice person to Diane. So if anybody calls you a Diane in here, they're calling you the stereotype Karen. But every Karen who's in here is nice, sweet, respectful, all the good things. So I feel bad calling people oh, please don't quit. Just all right. Let's just reload this real quick just to make sure I got the most up to date. As part of this, I don't Arkansas beat St. John's, which is crappy. So I didn't expect Arkansas to be good at anything because, I mean, it's Arkansas. You've had 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, I usually get 3 hours of sleep and then I wake up. Then I'm up for a couple hours and then I get like 3 or 4 more hours of sleep. Hi, baby. What's up? Oh, what's up? Are you tired this morning? Oh, hi. What are you doing? Oh, you want to? I seriously don't understand why people just enjoy what they can and move on to the next one. What next? So, woman is Diane Mayonnaise, Mike, Mark, Mario, Marshall. I don't know, like a Brad. Angel.
Oh, she's mad at me.
Pain is a wonderful thing. Yeah. I know that the feeling, the little keeps grabbing onto my arm, and I'm like, I don't have the heart to tell her. And that's the thing, like my arm, like it doesn't hurt when I'm like doing stuff. It hurts to the touch. Steven. Like, Steven. Oh yeah, Bruce. Duh. Tammy, thank you. That's for the male version. The male version of a Karen is like Brad or Mark. No, not Mark. I know all the Marks I know are great, but like Brad. Brad works. Use Deuce. Deuce works. Bruce. Yeah, the only other Bruce I know is Bruce Pearl, and he's kind of a douche too. Like, you need Wonder Woman's magic bracelets. See, but I know a Kevin, and he's all right. I know a couple people named Kevin, and the Kevin I know isn't too bad. He's kind of annoying at times, and I'm pretty sure he told the little that she's not allowed to sleep anymore. But like, you know, other than that, not a bad dude. All right. Here's where it gets crappy. So I messed up the whole Clemson McNeese thing, and then I had Clemson beating Purdue. So I have Houston going to the Final Four. My Final Four is basically Duke, Houston, Florida, and Auburn. So Houston, the fact that I have Houston is good. I had Xavier beating Illinois. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But I had Kentucky beating Illinois. So let's see if this works. And then I had Tennessee beating UCLA. So I had both of those right. So I'm not doing unbelievably bad. Like, my Final Four is still intact. So my Final Four is still intact. My Elite Eight is not. My Elite Eight was St. John's, Florida, Michigan State, Auburn, Duke, Wisconsin, Houston, and Tennessee. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 8 are still. It is not a trapped nerve. It is not a trapped nerve because my wrist was not the first thing that hurt. The first thing that hurt was my elbow and above my elbow, and it's moving down. So the fact that it's in my wrist now, I love everybody for trying to help. But a lot of this is coming from the fact that I have nerve damage in my neck, and it's progressive. It starts up here and moves down. If it was my wrist, it would have started in my wrist and only be in my wrist and fingers. But the fact that my wrist and fingers were last to hurt, it is not my wrist. So I appreciate everybody who's mentioned that and trying to help, that I have a nerve or like either carpal tunnel or ulnar tunnel syndrome. This was not the first thing that hurts. This is just the thing that hurts the worst. It hurts all up here. All up here. This was the first thing that hurt. My wrist is last. It is only where my ulnar nerve. So if y'all know nerve patterns and where nerves actually, what area of the body they hurt, this is my ulnar nerve. And it starts up here and moves down. So yeah, this is just the part that hurts the worst. And also when you have like carpal tunnel or something like that, it hurts all the time. My hand and my wrist only hurt to the touch. I can move my wrist all around. I can pick things up. I can do stuff. It does not hurt to use my mouse. It does not hurt to type. It hurts to touch. So it's it was just this arm until about Friday night or Saturday morning. It started over here. So it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as my right arm. But my right side's always been the problem child out of the two. So yeah, we complain about what hurts the worst depending on the day. Yeah. My wrist is just what hurts because my shirt touches it. And every time my shirt moves. Yeah, I have myalgia. I was diagnosed with myalgia, not fibromyalgia. don't exactly know the technical differences in that, but it's hurt to touch. It's a nerve issue. So I think she's probably going to put me on gabapentin because she's mentioned it in the past. Right here hurts, but it's just this side. So not much you can do with carpal tunnel nerve damage unless operation or they medicate comes from repeating the same exercise. Like I said, chainsaw or help get a bionic arm. It is not carpal tunnel because carpal tunnel hurts to move. Your range of motion hurts with carpal tunnel. Mine does not. It's, when you get shingles and or people have gout and their skin hurts to the touch. That's what it is. Yeah, it starts up here because that's where my C4. So here's C7 is, sorry, I have to palpate to find C7, and from C7 I can move my way up. That's how I do, So 7, 6, 5, 4 is about right here. That's where one of the cysts is. So, yeah. That's true. That's why I have to talk to my that's why I have to talk to my doctor or my nurse practitioner, because I'm very medically complex as far as pain and neuro symptoms. So what might be a straightforward diagnosis for somebody else is not a straightforward diagnosis for me. One of the things I am going to do on this channel, and I've been talking to a couple people, is I've noticed a lot of people who have been gaslit by the medical industrial complex. Some people of which who even worked in the medical industrial complex as therapists, nurse practitioners, people like that, who could not even get an accurate diagnosis for themselves without being told, oh, it's all in your head, you're faking it, you're this, you're not in as much pain as you say. And I want to start doing some interviews with people, just letting people tell their stories. Because I told you on a members only, I told you my story and how difficult it was to get diagnosed. And even some of my coworkers thought I was faking my pain. I worked at a freaking hospital and I still was told I was faking it by coworkers. So finding out that I needed brain surgery to fix my issue was kind of scary, but it was kind of like, oh my God, I need brain surgery. But at the same time, it was like, see, I'm not faking it. And I know a lot of people have been that same way, especially people with like EDS. I can never say that first word. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, Chiari's, CRPS, people that were told for years, months, years that they were faking their stories, that their pain wasn't real. And then finally they got somebody to listen to them and they got the correct diagnosis, and not they're better, because with chronic pain, it's not, if you're having a day without pain, it's tolerable pain versus intolerable pain. So I want to let people know that, one, I want to educate the general public on these people really do exist. These stories really do exist. They are more common than we all think they are. And just because you go to a doctor and they tell you that this is what you have, that's not what you always have. Yeah. People who really have pain issues say keywords at key times. You speak pain really well. I totally get you. And I just want to give people the chance to tell their stories, because not a lot of people want to listen. Not a lot of people are interested. And not a lot of people believe them. We have this thought process in this country, and I've noticed this. It's not with everybody, so I'm not generalizing, because my dad always told me not to generalize. not to overgeneralize, but I have noticed a lot of people that think their experience is the only experience. So someone who had, for example, here's an easy one. Someone who's never had an issue with the VA, whether it be scheduling, diagnoses, getting treatment correctly. Whenever they've asked for something, they've gotten it. Like, I want a massage therapy eval because I think massage therapy would help me better than pain medication. People who have always gotten their way and things have always gone right or medically simple, such as a broken leg. Yes, painful, but a broken leg, you can see it. Like, you can do an x-ray and you can see it. And it's a relatively straightforward diagnosis. So people who have always had correct and positive interactions with healthcare providers seem to think that that is the only interactions that ever happen. And there are good doctors who still make bad decisions. People with lymphedema are another one. I literally had a patient tell me this, and I will never forget this. This woman, bless her heart, she had told me, she was like, I thought I had lymphedema, but I told my doctor about it. And he literally, and I will never forget her quote, told me, you can't tell me that you have lymphedema because I don't know how to treat it. That to me was like mind blowing that someone would say that to a patient. If you think they have lymphedema and you don't know how to treat it, you refer them to a lymphedema therapist who does know how to treat it. And you admit that you don't know things and you find somebody that does. But people who have always had positive interactions seem to think that positive interactions are the only thing that ever happens in the medical field. And when someone has a bad interaction, that they are making it up or they are lying, or when, Digistorm, you should email me because you are one of the people that I would love to give you, whether it be a pre-recorded video, you don't have to be on camera, whether it just be a conversation, like I ask you questions, you give me the answers, and I read your interview. I want people to hear these stories in their own words, not me saying they happen, but I want people to be able to tell their own stories so that I know my channel is not very big and not a lot of people see this, but I want to get out that just because someone is telling you that they had a bad interaction or they have pain that is not easily explainable does not mean they're faking it. It means the doctor or the nurse practitioner or the therapist or whoever needs to work harder and do more research to find a diagnosis. We will, you are exactly the type of person that is what I'm talking about. Carrie, I have fibromyalgia across my shoulders. I know it's different from yours. Good. I take Lyrica, 50 milligrams twice a day. It works for that, but not for the back and hip pain. And that's the thing. Two people with the same diagnoses can have different symptoms. The brain is so complex. Like, y'all see, I have my book here. Well, you can't see it now. I'll stop my screen. Y'all see, I have my book here. This is a textbook, for lack of a better description, on the brain. I love it. It's so complex that two people who've had a stroke can have damage in the same area and have completely different symptoms and issues. It's fascinating, but also scary. I'm putting my email in the chat. And anybody who wants to tell their story can reach out to me. And I'm thinking about doing a series. Kind of first come, first serve, I guess, would be the only way that I could do it if I have enough interest. But this is why I started my channel. Yes, covering the legal stuff and the drama is funny. But yeah. And Killdozer, I responded to your email this morning. I don't know if you saw it, and I'm sorry if it seems like a disjointed email. The little wanted a second breakfast in the middle, and because she's tiny, when she wants food, I give her food. So it's one of those things. Taz, when I saw the head of neurology at the VA in Milwaukee, he was like, "Can I bring in some students to look at your when he was doing the I can't even think, the tests on my legs. I'm having a brain fart right now. You know, when you hit the bottom of your knee and your leg moves, he did the same. He asked if he could bring in students. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm an open book as far as like, you want to bring in med students or residents to see some abnormal shit. Yeah, by all means, because I am all about educating. And if I can use my issues to educate future doctors who because of seeing me might not gaslight their patients, I'm all for education. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to anybody, or am I like talking crazy? It's so weird. Yeah, for me, I get tingling, like almost like the pins and needles feeling like under my skin. Like I can't, like you want to itch, but there's nothing to itch because it's not an itch. It's so crazy. So I'm still in the back of the room. Squid was visiting. Yeah, and that's part of the reason that I want to talk about this channel is like I used to work out on this channel until I got really out of shape. Yeah. And like certain people who have gout, it's the same way. Like we know so little about the brain. Someone can have a spike, go through this, show signs of after its removal, but someone else can get a concussion and then the brain dead. Yeah, it's all weird. It's all weird. It's fascinating but scary at the same time. But that's one of the reasons that like neuro patients were so fascinating to me. And I love to hear people's stories. Like I love to hear people's stories. When people tell me stuff and I ask questions, if I'm ever nosy with someone, please let me know if I'm talking to you and I'm being too nosy. But like this is fascinating to me. I love to hear people's stories because everybody's story is different. You have people that had COVID, were perfectly fine before COVID, had COVID, and all of a sudden they've got chronic fatigue syndrome, and they've got this, and they've got this, and their brain functions differently now. They get brain fog, things they never really had before, and now they're like, this is weird. This is weird. I'm in shape. Round is a shape. That's a good truth. I'm not round per se. I'm more oval. But you know, it's then you want to get electric shocks through your body like fingers. Occasionally I get like a chill, even though I'm not cold. I don't know. It's just I have long COVID. It's a nightmare. I can imagine. I've only had COVID once. That was when the little was 6 months old. I surprisingly working with COVID patients in 2020. I never got COVID. I got COVID in 2023, February 14th, 2023, to be exact. All right. I am going to, we have to laugh at my, my bracket where I picked based on colors of uniforms. Everyone, I do know if you don't keep doing something, you will lose that something. You will wonder where it went. Don't stop doing the stuff you love. Yeah. You never know what you have until it's gone. And it's really hard to get things back. It's really hard to get things back. All right. We're going to laugh at my, I called this bracket Squid's Last Resort because, you know, you can ask me anything. My memory is great. I forget nothing, which some things I'd love to forget. Yeah, it's just more of like when I want to let people know that when I ask about their stories, it's not to be nosy. in a sense of annoying, nosy, and it like that kind of, where you're like, stop asking me questions. It's more of my brain is fascinated with people who have stories like mine. So it's, I want to see the bracket. Oh, I can't imagine. I woke up like this. Oh, I had to lay flat for 24 hours after my surgery. God help us. I could not, they wouldn't even give me I wanted a pillow. And she's like, you can't have a pillow. I was like, I want a pillow to put here to keep my neck from doing this. Because when I sleep, I have to like protect my neck, because if I do this, I wake up with a headache. So some of the days I wake up with a headache. Yeah, it sucks, but I don't take anything for it because I know it's a positioning. And once my head is in a normal position for more than an hour, it'll be, I'll be good. So, oh, no one has the answer. Oh, yeah. Oh, this, nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That was one of my fears, was waking up. And I mean, yeah. That was one of my big fears, was yeah. That was one of my big fears, was waking up. All right. So this was my my bracket based on school colors and what states they're in. So this is the one that was fixed. It wouldn't let me change it to the other one, so it just got confusing for me. So Auburn and Michigan State, I both have. You can see I made it all the way. Texas A&M and Michigan. I had Texas A&M because I'm not a fan of blue and yellow. I liked, I like that crimson color. Like I said, this was all based on school colors and what states they were in. And because I don't like Michigan, Michigan's cold and wet and snowy. I'm like, nope, I'd rather choose out of Michigan and Texas. I'd choose Texas. Like, this is how I did this. This has to be the most girly bracket. Like, because we've all had that. We've been in a pool, a sports pool, and like, you try to choose based on who you think would win or things like that. And then you have people who win that are like, oh, I just chose my favorite color. Or some people have said in the chat which mascots would beat each other. Like, like, what's an Aggie? And we know a Wolverine would beat an Aggie. Like, so I'm like, let's do both. Let's do one based on something subjective, school colors and states, and one based on objective data, and see which one does better, because that's always the fun. Yeah, it's always the fun time. So I still have all 4 of my final 4 people intact, except for I chose Marquette just based on the fact that, like, I like Wisconsin better than New Mexico. Michigan State, I didn't know where Bryant was, so sorry. Plus the green, it's just a good color. And out of Wisconsin or Michigan State and Iowa State, I liked Michigan State better. Like, the green is just great. It's just great. It's fun. I wonder what happened. Sorry, I just have to I'll have to see what happened, because on my Killdozer, I just got your email. I wonder what happened, because I replied and it said it sent, so we'll see what happens. I'll look into it. I'll look into it after we get done here. If not, I'll just resend the email. So obviously I messed up Wisconsin, because Wisconsin and Alabama, I like Wisconsin better. I had BYU. Obviously, I like Wisconsin better. I like the red. Sorry. But Alabama and Wisconsin, I had Wisconsin winning. So Yeah, but I still had Duke winning because I like the blue better than red. You know, it's bizarre, but I figured this would be the fun way of doing it. Down here, Purdue and Houston. I had Purdue and Houston. I had Kentucky and UCLA. Didn't work. I chose UCLA over Tennessee because I'm not a fan of orange. So in my other bracket, that's one of the things that was different. In the skill bracket, I chose Tennessee. In the school colors bracket, I chose UCLA. So this is where I wish I could combine two things. Yeah, I'm with you, Jeffrey. No excuse for that, anesthesiologist. Well, plus, but there are some people who have issues with anesthesia that aren't seen until they're under anesthesia. So, but in the colors one, I do have Purdue and Kentucky. So I have Kentucky and Duke. So hopefully this one I got right, Purdue and Kentucky. I almost wish I could combine my brackets because what I messed up on here, I got right on here. I'm so weird. Oh my goodness. Well, I am glad you are here with us now. I just can't. That's also true. But Digistorm, that's. I can't imagine. I just. Yeah. Meds don't work on me like they should. I blame my mom. Yeah. I just, everybody has a story, and I'm interested in hearing everybody's stories. St. John's in Florida. So it's Florida, Texas Tech. So it's Texas Tech and Arkansas. And I had Texas Tech and St. John's. So, So my final four on both are still intact. Sort of. So I'm still doing all right. I'm still doing all right. We're just having a couple of hiccups. But it sounds like that y'all would be very interested in a stream or videos where people just are able to tell their stories. Because everybody's story is different. And it's just, I want to break that stereotype that just because one person had a great experience and got their diagnosis easy, even if it's a complex diagnosis like EDS or POTS or something or Chiari. Sometimes people can have a relatively straightforward and their doctor does an MRI and they see it right away. And then you have other people where their doctor tells them they're fake, doesn't want to get an MRI, doesn't get an MRI until they bitch and complain, but then they're labeled a complainer. There's just because one person has a straightforward story to how they got their diagnosis, that's not everybody. So I want to tell the stories of the people who are open to it. I'm not going to tell your story if you don't want your story to be told. I'm also not going to be, invade your privacy like that. But obviously, names of doctors, your name, not included in the issues. And some doctors are quacks. Yeah, and you don't have to say, oh, this doctor at this hospital in this city. More generalizations, I had a doctor once who told me I was faking it. And I asked for a second opinion and they labeled me a complainer or a difficult patient. And it's not just because people ask for a second opinion doesn't mean that you're difficult. Just doesn't mean you're difficult. it's kind of I still don't understand how blood pressure can spike and drop one moment to the next. I understand it, but it's not like you have an outside source of blood. Gravity has a lot to do with it. A lot to do with why your blood pressure drops. So when you're laying down and it's normal, and you sit up too fast, and your blood pressure can drop. Like I was in Walmart one time when I lived in Wisconsin. Was in Walmart doing my normal shopping. This was before I moved down here. I was on my own, no kids, no nothing, no responsibilities except for me. But I worked at the hospital. And there was this one person who I saw him sitting down in the women's clothing section. But he was sitting on a 24 pack of Coors Light. And I'm like, "Are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need anything?" He goes, "No, it's just my blood pressure. I'll sit here for a minute and I'll be fine." Well, he picked up a little while later. I see him in the checkout lines. So me being the not nosy person, but like I just see this going badly. I got in line behind him because I knew what he had told me. When he had told me it, he was not slurring his words. He was not, everything. Well, by the time he got into line, he was slurring his words. He couldn't pick up the beer because we're in Wisconsin and he was at Walmart buying a 24 pack of beer. The first thing that the employees of Walmart did was assume that he was drunk. And I'm like, y'all tell me you don't know what you're talking about without telling me. Like, I was like, you need to lay him down. You need to lay him down. I'm like, go grab like something soft, like to put under his neck, like whatever. Grab something soft. He is not drunk. I guarantee you if you pull blood right now, he's not going to have any alcohol in his system. Like, I guarantee you, like, you need to call 911 because he is not getting any better by laying down. Like, it wasn't a stroke. He was just having blood pressure issues. And when your blood pressure gets to a certain low point, you can't function. You just can't. I'm not a nurse, but like I've seen enough people that had low blood pressure that went from being perfectly fine to not being able to function like this. So the fact that when he was cognizant and just a little dizzy, he told me what was going on and I followed him. Following him might not have been the right thing as far as like I was trying not to be creepy about it, but like I was trying not to be creepy about it, but like I knew that if he got worse, the first thing they were going to think of because he was holding a 24 pack of beer was that he was a drunk. Like I know how those stereotypes, like, oh, you're dizzy and you're out of sorts and you're slurring your words, they're going to think you're drunk. Like they're going to think you're drunk. Like I know how the average person would think. So I followed him and I got in line behind him. And I like laid him down and like I told him to get the manager and then I told the manager to call 911. When 911 got there and they checked his blood pressure, the cashier was still trying to tell the EMT that he was drunk. Yeah, he had a vasovagal response. And it's like he ended up being fine. But like had they just thought he was a drunk, he might not have been fine. So like that's one of the things that got me like wanting to educate people on the things they don't know, because when we don't know something, it's fine. It's fine to not know something. But when you don't know something and you assume something based on someone's looks or what's in their shopping cart, you just make wrong decisions. And like that's one of the like my pet peeves in life is like don't assume things about people that you don't know. And that was kind of where this started, and that was before I got my diagnosis. So that was back when people were still gaslighting me, telling me it was all in my head. Well, it was. Actually, it wasn't. My brain was falling out of my head. Like, I've seen residents pass out from vagal response while sitting on the toilet having, that pressure that I have too. That's why I tell people not to strain. Like I would tell my patients, if you can't go, like you can't go. Like if you can't go, stand up. We'll clean you up and we'll try again later. Like don't, because when you bear down like that, things get funky. So, and if you have quick blood pressure changes going like this, yeah, well, true, but I did because when I saw him sitting down on a pack of beer in the women's clothing section, and he was cutting through because the alcohol section or the liquor store, to the quick way to the checkout is through that area. So when I saw him sitting there, I was like, okay, something's funky here. And I asked. Well, he was still, I was still, but he was still not slurring his words. He was just dizzy. And when his first symptom was dizziness, and he said, I have blood pressure problems, then it was like, okay. And that could also happen too when someone has high blood pressure and they all of a sudden go on a blood pressure medication. And there's a reason they keep you in the hospital for a few days to see how the medication affects you and see if they need to make changes, because they could give you the average dose for your height and your weight, but the average dose for you or for the norm might affect you too much and might cause you to have low blood pressure all of a sudden. Like things are weird. So when you see somebody who's having medical things, like we don't assume we know what's going on. So that's kind of my thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm gonna go play with my daughter. I also have to do some stuff around the house. I am working slowly but surely on this planting bed project. I don't have a second garbage can right now, and I ran out of room in the garbage can with dumping the landscape fabric and all the wood chips. So I'm going to have to put it on hold until after garbage day, or I'll have to go to the store and buy a new garbage can or a second garbage can. So y'all, I'm kind of recording it, taking pictures, recording shorts. I might make a video of it. Squid goes landscaping. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it's worth making a video from it, I will. If it's not as dramatic or interesting, like I might make a short or two, but that's it. Have fun and remember to have a plan to cover the weather drops again suddenly. With that, Jeffrey, I will tell you our weather for the next few days and let you decide about that. The plants that are already in it, I'm keeping. I am just trying to weed it. There's like 3 bushes. There's 2 bushes. There's a tree at the end. And then there's a couple of rose bushes. Those I'm keeping. I'm just trying to get rid of the landscape fabric and the centipede grass that is infiltrating my my planting bed. And because and the edging, one, it's not a straight edge. You can tell the land's settled. It's not a straight edge, and the edging that they used to me just looks cheap and tacky. And I'm not trying to live that life. Tomorrow is going to be the coldest day of the week. It's supposed to be 67 degrees tomorrow. It's supposed to be 81 and lows in the 50s. So we are the lowest low is supposed to be Tuesday night. It's supposed to be 42 degrees. So don't forget plants that not came up yet. There's only 3 of these bushes, 2 bushes, 2 rose bushes, 2 of these shrubs or whatever they are, and then a tree. That's the only thing that's in there. Yeah, remember, I'm in Southeast Georgia. So what a lot of people have and still can have frost and freeze warnings. We are pretty much through that Yeah, like yesterday it was 71 or 75 and sunny. Like with low humidity to the point where we got a warning from the National Weather Service about having possible brush fires because the humidity was so low. The humidity was still 35%. So it's still more humid than some people's areas, but low for us. So freezing's not a thing anymore. Yeah, it's supposed to be 81 degrees today. So it's Gail, I will show you a picture. Let's see if I can find it. This is what's growing in my, I'll show you guys a picture just so you can understand what I'm talking about. Because we all know I like sharing pictures. This is what's, Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Present, share screen, window, my photos. So this is what the edging's not straight because the land is settling. This edging is like it comes apart. There's weeds that are on this side. The landscape fabric on this part doesn't even go all the way to the edge. This is centipede grass. So like you can see, like this is centipede grass. Whoop. So it's growing through the landscape fabric, which is another reason that the landscape fabric has to go. It's growing. Yeah, you can see there's leaves and stuff in here. This is a cheap plastic. It's like you can see there's weeds over here. Like it just needs, it's not horrible by any means. It's just not like you can see like this, it's uneven, it's pushing out, like it's just there. So I'll show you another one. Oh, I found a welcome mat that says gather somewhere else. Yeah. I'll show you what I mean by, so there's this. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping I'm gonna even out the so it's this. So there's 3 of these little trees, they're bushes. There's a tree down here, and you can see at the base of this tree, I pulled all of this, but there's weeds. There's weeds all in here. Like it's just the edging is not straight. Like it's not awful. But you can see the landscape fabric, but you can see there's holes in the landscape fabric. And I'm pretty sure a lot of this has to do with the hurricanes last year, washed a lot of this away. So I'm not saying that this is all the owner's the owner's fault, but after the hurricane, they just didn't take care of what they needed to fix. So here's the edge. And I'm just having to stop the screen every time because there are just some pictures that are family pictures that I just don't want you to see. So like here's the edge of our porch. This is where the landscape fabric ends. So like we have a built-in sprinkler system though, which is nice. But like it's not, it's, and the mulch just needs to be replaced because I do like the black mulch. The black mulch I think is gorgeous. And I think is a nice like contrast with the siding. But it's just it just needs to be replaced. So yeah. But here's what I did so far. This is what I've done so far. So I've pulled up the and I've kind of rolled it because that way I rolled it, I stuck it in a trash bag, and threw it in the trash. But like I still have to get all this out. Like, and you can see that there's like root systems of weeds. And then this is just uneven. So this is just uneven. So I'm going to straighten the edge out. I have an edger that I'm a manual edger where I'm just going to make a straighter line. Straighten these out. And I'm going to get rid of this edging. I'm going to put more soil down to I'm going to put more soil down to kind of even it out, and then put mulch over the top of it. But like this is like centipede grass, because the front yard is centipede grass, which is fine. But when centipede grass flew into here and made their way through the landscape fabric, it was like, eh. But yeah, these bushes and black mulch is gorgeous. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of the other side of it, because I can't find a picture. Well, here's the other corner. And I'm gonna straighten this out. So I'm gonna straighten. This is the corner by the driveway, so this part is our driveway. I'm going to make this just go all the way to here so that mowing the lawn will be much easier. I do have a video, but I made a minute-long video where I just kind of explained what I was doing, and I'm taking pictures as I go. But this corner and then this plastic edging goes all the way up the edge of our driveway back to the house. So I'm going to make this easier to do. And as I'm pulling up the landscaping fabric, I'm spraying it with weed and grass killer. That would kill the centipede grass, but leave the bushes alone. Something that's made for planting beds, so it doesn't kill the bush or the trees, but it kills the grass and weeds growing around it. So, you know, it's my landscaping project. It's my first home improvement project. I started working on the land at our last, in the grass at our last place. But when they said they were selling the house, I stopped putting time and effort and money into it because they obviously didn't want us to stay there. So, yeah. But that's my plan. And the other side where there's two rose bushes, there's two rose bushes, and they actually left the name of the rose bush, like the tag that comes on it. They actually left it in the bush so that we know what it is. So it's and I'm seeding the whole lawn because you can see in this picture. Come on. You can see that like they only did the front yards. The company who built the house only did the front yards. The backyards, some people did theirs very nice, and then other people just let it grow in what was going to grow in. So our backyard is all like whatever decided to grow. So I'm seeding Bermuda grass. Sorry, Mama Squid was
cleaning the floor with her bum.
Yeah, the Mama Squid is, I'm assuming, going to change the little's diaper, and the little, being the little, is like laying on the ground. So she's literally like dragging her by the arms, and they're playing this game of like using the little as a dust mop. So I know, right? And it's like, it's hard work, but it's one of those things of like, it's my yard. Like, it's my yard. Like, I'm not improving anybody else's yard except for my neighbors, because my neighbor is a really nice guy who's about our age, and he cares about his lawn. He started seeding it, and he put seed over in our side too because it's all the same. So because he's doing that, I'm watering his side when I water ours, because he travels every week. So it's nice to care about like ours, like our house. And I'm noticing that like the difference between renting and buying. I am caring a lot more about things that I didn't super care about before. And I had this conversation with a couple people and my father. Like in the Amazon wish list that y'all helped me with, and thank God for that. I love you guys so much. There was an under sink like silicone mat, because at the last house, if something leaked, those cabinets were 40 years old, or 50 years old. So it was like, they need to be replaced anyway. And whoever's going to buy this house is going to have to do a renovation on the kitchen. It's just going to be required because there's so many issues with it. However, this one, if something leaks, like the Windex leaks and gets onto the wood, that's my problem that I have to fix. And that's not a problem where the cabinets already need to be replaced. This is my problem. So I have those silicone mats underneath. So if something leaks, I can wipe it up or take out the silicone mat, rinse it off, and the wood in my cabinets is still nice and pretty and intact. It's just those little things that you go from renting to owning, and you're like, under dishwasher, washing machine, sinks. Yeah. The one thing I do want to do, this house does not have a backsplash. And I don't know about y'all, but I like to cook, and sometimes cooking gets a little splashy. And the thought of not having a backsplash and being able to easily clean that up and instead getting marks on the paint, that just makes me cringy. So the next is to do a backsplash. I'm not going to do an expensive backsplash, but I want to do something. Yeah. You should let people gift your yard with a list. I do have the Amazon list that still has a couple of things for the little on it, like some bath, like a bath storage, bath toy storage, stuff like that. So I do have some stuff, but you know me, I'm not a good grifter. I only made that list because I had more than one person ask me about a list. So I made one because y'all asked, not because I'm here's my Amazon list, help me out. But I'm realizing that this landscaping project is quite expensive in the fact that I had to buy, weed killer, bug killer, stuff, shovels, things like that. I can share you my I can share my Amazon list with you guys again, because there still is stuff on there. I just haven't, because that is not my that is just not my personality. In the I am a bad grifter. So the people who called me grifter, when the hater channels were calling me a grifter, I thought it was hilarious, because I'm I am the worst grifter in the world. I am very bad at it. I don't like to. That's why I turn on ad revenue in my streams, because I would rather get revenue just from you guys watching than make a big deal of super chats or things like that. I am just not that it is just not my, but I've never been that kind of person where I'm here, here's my, no. No. I'm just really bad at that. Really bad at that. Totally bad. Somebody sent me a Jeffrey, did you just send me an ladybug thing? I lived in Southern Ohio near the Shawnee State Forest when every year they would do a ladybug drop. I don't do ladybugs because we actually had to put up masking tape in our windows and doors to keep the ladybugs out of our house. Yeah, it was 3 awesome dogs. That if you have seen 3 awesome dogs, tell him I said hi. I haven't seen him in a few days. I wonder how he's doing. People want you to do that, the grifting squid. I am horrible at grifting. Like, it is just not my thing. That's why I turn on ad revenue, because I would rather have the stream free for y'all, but just get revenue from you watching, even though it's not a lot, than like do the super chat goals and stuff like that. It's just weird to me. Like, it's just weird to me. There is my Amazon list, though, if y'all want to check it out. I do have some small stuff on there. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody that has purchased anything from there. It has been amazing. He hasn't been doing lives in over a week. Yeah, it didn't come up. I haven't seen it. Usually like I'll pop on there if I see, a live, and I just haven't seen anything. And I'm like, is he okay? If y'all talk to him, let him know I'm thinking about him. I'll write him on Discord, but see what's up. But those are not ladybugs. They're supposed to be ladybugs, but there are some Japanese beetles in there too. I'm hoping he's just on vacation. New in the box room units. Only channel you're a mod for. Yeah, it's when my channel, if my channel ever hits 4K, I'll be adding some more mods. But it's one of those things of like, I'll add them when I need them kind of a situation. So, all right. But I am going to get going. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me on this Sunday morning. Just shoot the shit, talk about my brackets, make fun of things, just hang out on a Sunday morning. Same thing you do, but same thing you do. I do put, I do need to make other streamers that come in my chat. I do need to make them mods so that I can tell who they are when they, because nobody can, you know what I mean? Nobody can imposter copy them. So I know when I see them in my chat, it's actually them. Because that's a fear of mine, especially with bigger channels. Y'all, I know it's y'all when you come in here. So, right. Y'all have a great day. Yeah, drama-free zone. Drama-free zone. Yeah, and I added you as a mod because you are a streamer, and with some things going on, I don't want anybody to act as an impersonator, so I will add other streamers. Like I should have added when Vice Baby was in here. I should have added him as a mod so that I could tell when he comes in here that it's actually him. Because he made a really good point yesterday about that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a point that I had never even thought of. Other streamers that come in here that need to be made as mods so that they can honorary mods so that they don't so that nobody impersonates them, Yeah. Yes, but this is a drama-free zone. I love it. It is so much fun. Like, and Spawn. No, you haven't. Shut up. On that happy note, I will see you guys on the next one. Let's see if anybody is live so that we can do a redirect and give somebody else some. Your innocence is gone. Let's see. I hate that studio makes you go all the way back to the beginning. There's got to be an easier way, YouTube. Come on, Google, figure it out. Like, like there's just got to be there's got to be an easier way to do that, right? All right, redirect. I think Rosalind has April 6th, she's got Tell Me Everything episode 3 with Megan. That should be a good one. She did her first Tell Me Everything with DUI guy, or with Law Talk with Mike, and her second one with DUI guy. So she's doing another one, but that's not till April 6th, so we got a little time. I don't see anybody live right now. Yep, I don't see anybody live right now. So sorry, no redirects. Oh, I know how to redirect. It's not the knowing how to redirect. It's when you're in studio and you're in the when you're in your control room, instead of being able to hit the back button or just go back to your content, you kind of have to go. It makes you start over. Like, you have to click. When you go back, it doesn't give you an easy, like, it doesn't give you an easy way to get to redirects. So I end up having to, like, go start the stream over. So Rosalind did one yesterday with Rogue Mama looking at a hearing for someone involved in the Diddy, and the names are escaping me right now, but basically Diddy paid off a cop. That's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and it was that whole thing is just getting deeper and deeper. But redirects are easy. It's just going from the control room in YouTube Studio to the customization tab are so it makes you go all the way back to the beginning of YouTube Studio. I haven't found an easy way to just get to, like, I have to go back, I have to go to content, I have to go to live, I have to click on my stream. Instead of just being able to exit control room and do it that way, I have to start from the beginning. And it's so the cop, the DA, and the judge. Yeah, I watched it last night, but I admit I watched it last night after I had taken some Mucinex DM, or the nighttime stuff. So, like, what I remember might not be as accurate as it could have been. Met him several times is pure evil. I just wonder what happened with Justin Bieber, and that's a whole nother can of worms, because that's an Usher thing and an Usher link to Diddy, and that's a whole nother can of worms that we ain't got time for. But seems like a question. It's not a question of Diddy or Diddy not, but how old and how often. Yeah, it's not making R. Kelly look that bad anymore, huh? In comparison, like, everybody made art. Like, don't get me wrong, R. Kelly, not a good dude, but, like, R. Kelly was made out to be this huge monster when other people like Usher and Diddy were made to be like these, awesome people. And it makes you wonder about what things were said, and yeah, just makes you wonder. Ooh, Big Bear, Bald Eagles for babies. Follow for Baby Squid. Live cam 24/7. My dad's work used to have a bald eagle cam too. So I'll have to see if they still do that. Anyway, y'all have a great day. I will see you tomorrow morning. We will get back to regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. We will get back to the drama that is Justin Baldoni, and we will hopefully finish it so we can read some articles and see what his website's all about. All right. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.